Yeah, with me getting used to the assassin's controls again. Yeah. Okay. This is jump. Alright. I feel the need to do that since, you know, I just pressed the, what was it? The R2 button to start running. Alright, so... Why is... Ah. Okay, thank God. I really need to get into the... Okay. The controls, man. The controls! Anyways. Victory Rise. Oh, yeah. We're in the middle of the Exalted Plains, and... Ooh. No, I don't want to lose that. Alright. We're in the middle of the Exalted Plains. I'm mainly trying to rack up experience points because it is needed if you want to go anywhere else that is very high in level. I mean, your enemies will not make it easy, so... I've gotten pretty good with the blocking, haven't I? Alright. Oh, scared me right now. I thought somebody was coming up from behind me or something. Saving it for you. Go die. Okay. This wasn't that bad. Considering it could have been a lot worse. So that's one, and then there's another one, so you gotta... Oh, I don't have a rogue with me. Damn it. I'm gonna have to come back. This door is only opened with a rogue, since they have the ability to pickpocket, to like picklock stuff and get it. So we're gonna have to come back later. Inside is a soldier that's about to die. She gives you a ring to give to a general that's across a bridge. Which, I mean, will open up that, that side when we get there. Did I just... Oh, Dorian just hit 10, huh? Or no? There you go. And that's all of the pits that need to be burned. Now you just need to sound that horn, and I think this is like the eastern ramparts. It should be claimed. I changed back to my Inquisitor. So yeah, this has been a while since I've played anything Dragon Age in a while. So it's nice to come back to after playing a different game. Although I need to get used to the controls. But I believe there's another one. There should be.
I hope it doesn't bother you to travel alongside a Vint, Iron Bull.
That what you are? You people all kind of look the same to me.
Aww.
I'm also a mage. Would you prefer me bound and leashed?
Oh.
I'd buy you dinner first.
Hopefully before you sewed my mouth shut.
Depends how much you keep yapping.
Apparently, if you don't romance either Iron Bull or Dorian, they get into a relationship with each other along the way. Right? Which is, I mean, their banter is kind of hilarious. Really? Yeah. I want to see if I can get the entire banter on video. I want to. Ooh. Wait. That was taken care of rather nicely. No fun at all. Okay. Let's see, let's get this, whatever this is. I believe it's a bottle Thetis. Oh. Same thing. Gray Risky Right Wine Conscription Ale. Bottle marked Vintage. Warden Tontive Home. Same thing, really. Crumbled Missive. Did you hear? One of the recruits from Valrayo said they saw the famous Tom Rainier drinking at the Halbred, east of Valrayo. I thought you'd be interested, given your history, although the lad's probably only seen him in sketches. Somehow I doubt the old captain's foolish enough to come within 100 miles of the capital. I'll let you decide whether you believe it. Anyway, I heard you might be relieved in a week or two. You could talk to... What is that? Prol? Oh. See if he'll let you take leave to follow the lead. He'll understand. He did allow you to enlist for our side even after what happened with Callier. Roslyn. So, you know. No, it's not that one. Or is it? No. Anyways. Tom Rainier. We all know who it is. Later on. So the reason why I'm here in the Exalted Plains is to rack up the experience points. Last words from a Corporal Marsh. if I do not survive this terrible conflict, I wish my property to be distributed among my family thusly. To my dearest mother, the last salary drawn from my service to His Grace the Grand Duke. To my brother, Victor, my arms and armor, long may you defend our family. To my elder sister, Margaret, my love and everything in the pine wood chest. To my younger sister, Bess, the pine wood chest and my apologies. May the Maker take me into His hands. Which it looks like he got crushed by this Gurn over here. This eaten Gurn.
Bad day for someone.
For real. Let's loot this. Ooh, all good. All good. Is this... Yes. Eastern Rampart. He falls off. Are you? Come here. How did she get all the way over here? Vivian. Alright. This is the last of the ramparts that we claim back on this side. And then after we fix a bridge, there's like at least 3 pyres to burn and a revenant to fight. Which revenants? Apparently they stuck out of Doom and went into Inquisition, like, or, well, Dragon Age. All together. This way. Wrong Revenant, I know. I had to say it. What the hell? What? I don't know what had me, like... Well, I have at least some idea. Any mage, it doesn't matter.
That's the last of them.
Alright. Go up here. I believe there's like a few stuff. Belt of Resistance. Legend of the Three Sisters, Book 3. As with the Stop in the White Rose, the individual tales of the three sisters are often told on their own. Seldom is the saga repeated in its entirety. Indeed, one of the few times an attempt to do so was as a play in the Grand Royal Theatre that sharply criticized Divine Justinia's attempts at reform. The play was quickly banned after 3 performances. A book titled The Three Brothers was later published in Manrathus, citing the exploits of 3 Tevinter brothers who find themselves lost in Val Royeaux and spend their time ridiculing... Where did it go? What? Wait a minute. Ridiculing Orlesian culture. Despite claims in Tevinter that it is the original, it's quite clear that the Three Sisters legend far predates it. Throughout the legend's various incarnations, the most commonly depicted adventures include: the sisters are convinced to drink dwarven ale by a handsome nobleman with sinister intentions. Their reactions to the ale vary, but usually by the end of this tale, the sisters end up all on a wild chase after the nobleman through the streets of the Bellemarche until he jumps into the river and drowns. The sisters ask for help from a group of dwarven merchants who say they will do so only if the sisters solve a clever riddle. The nature of the riddle varies, but the dwarves always cheat the sisters in the end. Typically, the encounter ends with the sisters fleeing before they are sold into slavery, though sometimes the legend has them clubbing the lead dwarf to death with paddles until the other dwarves run off. They are drawn into the annual Saturnalia parade, usually in the climax of the story, until the Imperial army descends upon the revelers and starts a chaotic chain reaction that results in the sisters either stowing aboard a pirate ship or wading through the elven alienage's sewers. It seems to change each age. Once the girls once their chaperone Labette catches up with the girls, they usually hang their heads in shame and return to the Montbéliard Monts to resume good and honest lives. Not always, however. The most recent versions of the legend have the sisters remaining in Val Royeaux to fight criminals while wearing black masks, though I honestly cannot tell where this comes from. From Tales of Val Royeaux by Lord Werner Joachim? No, not Joaquin Phoenix, guys. Joaquin Phoenix is shit. Okay. Chantry Banner. Ooh. Yeah, no. I'd prefer to watch any movies with River Phoenix in it, not Joaquin Phoenix. Except if it was Gladiator and he gets killed in the end. Yeah. Anyways, no. I think that's like Joaquin. Anyways. Here's that blowhorn. Let's level up. Born of Valor. Okay. I'll think about that. What to do? Well, I guess focus teamwork. I shall apply that. Iron Bowl. I want to build up Vivian, although it's still too early for me to actually reset all her abilities at one go. This one for Dorian. Okay. Ooh, good one. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Me... Save. Save. Oh. See? I need to, like, get used to these controls now. Okay. I've never seen a horse here. That's weird.
Fine by me.
Another horse. I guess, oh, I learn stuff every day. Every day. Alright. Okay. Cool. Roslyn. Oh, I didn't know that was the same Roslyn. Good to know. Okay. Beyond here is the garrison and that other one. It's like a fort. Yeah. This one though. This one also has a Revenant, which, you know, Revenant. Could have gone a lot worse. Montevelon? Oh. Ville Montevelon was the first settlement humans established in the Dales following the victory of the Exalted March. Soldiers were the earliest residents of the village. In 221 Glory, Sister Amity, champion of the Exalted March, laid the foundation stones of the village chantry in a symbolic gesture. The building's construction was completed in 222. Laying aside her sword and bow, Sister Amity took on the task of leading Ville Montevelon's flock and becoming revered Mother Amity. She served the Maker for over 40 years, ministering to both residents of the Dales and the many pilgrims to the historic site. Revered Mother Amity died peacefully in her sleep in 264. Her ashes are interred in the Chantry's vault, where dozens of pilgrims still come each year to pay their respects. From Exalted, A History of the Dales by Lord Ademar Gardhot, Royal Historian. What? That just appeared out of nowhere. Memories of the Second Exalted March. Triumph of the Light. Remember the triumph over the profane. Sister Amity led the march to the river Tenasser, where stood shrines to the elven gods. These she struck down. Standing upon the banks, she sang the chant of light. Andraste's word had come to the Dales and delivered them from wickedness. Which, come on, man. I mean, yeah, difference in opinion, that doesn't mean you have to, like, destroy and take away someone's culture and traditions. Like, I still don't get how people could be so... I mean, even today, I mean... I know sometimes, like, we feel like we're threatened, but, I mean, at the same time, they feel like they're threatened too. I don't know. This one you can open up through the
soldiers could clear this passage.
The war table.
Nothing at all, Bull? No trouble having a Vint behind you?
Hope you like the view.
You can't deny you enjoy butchering my people.
Hey, butchering implies I'm gonna eat them. Most Vints are just gristle and fat in a red wine marinade.
Well, that much is true.
Or I have to get closer, huh? Come here, you. No? Alright. Alright. So after we... Ooh. I need a potion. After we kill all of those guys, then this can be opened.
The undead are gone from our camps. That was a brilliant show, Inquisitor. My men had barely been keeping the Horde at bay. Bastien Prou, Marshal of the Grand Duke's forces here in the Dales.
Why have you barricaded yourselves in here?
We had to retreat from the Western Front. The demons and undead were too much. But it's no better here. My patrols don't return, messages are lost. I've had no word from the capital in weeks. If we could regain our outposts, the ramparts, or even the garrison by the river, we can't just keep hiding. I want to die like a soldier, not cowering under a bed, praying the monsters don't get me.
I've heard something of the Freemen of the Dales. What do you know about them?
They're a mob of traitors, too soft for war. Thought it was a skirmish or two sent back for supper. Turns out it wasn't. And off they run to the first person to tell them their tantrums are acceptable. Now's the moment. Independence. To establish a new settlement. Ridiculous.
I shall take my leave.
Good day.
Alright. So let's go get the garrison. And open up, or well, no word back. Riverside Garrison, yeah. And then go to the bridge where we can go to the war table and repair it from there. Those two doors can be opened only with rogue.
No sign of trouble.
With your rogues and with the death turn. Only open which I don't have because you need to have 4 points spent in under Liliana's arcane knowledge. No, it's under Liliana. But you need to have four points spent in that for you to unlock that one. I'll see that. Poor Hala. Okay. Yeah, I really don't like to go after the Hala. No way. don't know if I gotten that far. No. I have to do some Dorian like quests on the war table, and after a certain one you finish on the war table, then you go to 3 specific spots across Thetis and you kill little pockets of Venatori. But I haven't gotten there yet, so. Pont Agur. A plaque on the bridge of Pont Agur reads, "Dedicated to all, elven and human, who lost their lives in the Second Exalted March." Pont Agur was built 100 years after the Exalted March of the Dales. It was named for Mayor Augur of Ville Montevelen, who raised the money to have the bridge built after several villages drowned in a ferry accident trying to cross the river, swollen after the rains. Some villages took offense at the dedication message on the bridge, which honors fallen elves as well as humans. Rumors that the mayor was elf-blooded began circulating. He was forced to step down. See? Once it threatens your beliefs, like...
That's convenient. Someone can fix this, right?
People just automatically decide, you know. Oh well. Anyways, here's the garrison. And then a little over towards that side will be a rift. All the way down over there. Let's get the garrison. Underneath the garrison is a big rift too that you close, and you sound that horn.
The demons are coming from down there. Hurry.
I mean, you can find the demons up here if you want, but down there is where the rift is, and you need to go and seal it up, and that's the only way to stop the demons from coming up. I'll get this one. There was always an arcane horror on this one. Oh well. Silk. Brocade. Yeah, that is a good resource too. Bottles of Thetis. Finale by Masad. The last bottling from the legendary vintners of Ferelden before lands were divided. Tears on the glass as slow as the turning of a reluctant hair, as quick on the tongue as words that can't be unsaid. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't know if I did that. I can't remember if I did or not. Since we started with the Templars, it'll be Calpurnia that we have to track down. I don't think I did. Riverside Garrison. This ancient structure has stood since the time of the Elven Kingdom of the Dales. Since then, it has fallen into ruin. No one alive knows for what the elves used it. Grand Duke Gaspard's forces claimed it as an outpost early in the Orlesian Civil War. Let's get this one. And then we can go back to Skyhold. Yeah, I'm gonna save that. That part of the rift for it. For it to end up moving, that's not good. Alright, you mostly.
Have you ever met Black Divine?
I saw him once at a ball. We never met. He had to leave early on account of assassination.
Someone tried to kill him?
Kill him? No, no. He killed a magister. Could have waited until the dancing was finished.
We mostly covered all of the Exalted Plains except for the parts that we need to open up through War Table. There is another... There should be one more, or if not, two more rifts to close. Which we'll probably get later because we need to, like I said, unlock two specific parts that are locked off. So we can visit Liliana. And begin the Under Her Skin quest, which is surprisingly a lot shorter than if you like sided with the mages. You're looking for Samson, which is the same Samson in Dragon Age 2 that you encounter on the Kirkwall streets. Apparently was already kicked out of the Templar Order already.
We can't fight a god. The Elder thinks nothing. He's done.
But it's the same Samson nonetheless.
But they say that's why he cut the sky. To claim the throne.
Have I told you how much I like the throne you placed in the Great Hall? The chantry symbolism adds just the right touch.
I strive to match your elegant sense of style.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Val Royo and introduce you to my seamstress. And appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I suppose you're right.
I suppose it's important to show that we're an authority to be respected.
Not just respected, my dear. Awed, feared, aspired to. You command an army of the faithful, outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a woman who commoners aspire to be, and to whom nobles bow.
And style is enough?
And you think I can accomplish this purely through fashion?
It is a weapon in your arsenal. Don't overlook it, my dear. The stories of your accomplishments will spread, and with them, doubt. Are you truly the woman from the tales? They will question what they've heard, but they will believe what they see. They must see someone greater than legends.
You hold the divine to that?
If that's your standard for me, what does the divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne.
Alright, so... yeah, if you totally, decorate the... like, decorate the inside of Skyhold under, like, a chantry decor, then she, like, loves you for it. Well, you know, Vivian and, you know, down with mages, like... Let's talk to Josephine.
I've made some inquiries into the Imperial Court. The sooner we deal with the threats to the Empress, the better. The political situation in the Empire is dangerously unstable. It will complicate matters.
Everything in the Empire complicates matters. It's the Orlesian national pastime.
Turn your nose up at the grand game if you like, Commander, but we play for the highest stakes, and to the death. The Court's disapproval can be as great a threat as the Venatori. We must be vigilant to avert disaster.
Dangerously unstable?
Exactly what do you mean? How is it more dangerous than usual?
The Empress is in the middle of a civil war. Her cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard, seeks to take her throne by force. Leliana reports that a group of elves has been sabotaging both armies, drawing out the hostilities. Orlais holds Tevinter at bay. All of Thedas could be lost if the Empire falls to Corypheus. Celine is holding peace talks under the auspices of a grand masquerade. Every power in Orlais will be there. It's the perfect place for an assassin to hide.
I don't have a thing to wear.
A grand masquerade? I need to go shopping.
I'll arrange for an invitation at your discretion, Inquisitor.
Alright.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
Yes, let us keep up appearances.
It certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Thedas requires. The Templars will be scrutinizing your leadership. They should feel secure here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus' attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
We'll have revenge.
Corypheus will pay when I face him again.
I dearly hope that happens soon. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lady. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
No need to be all business.
You don't have to be so formal just because I'm Inquisitor now, Josephine.
Our allies and guests should see you treated with every courtesy, Inquisitor, especially considering the newness of your office. Fortunately, after your courage at Haven, it's no difficult task to do so.
Alright. Let's go into the war table. Man, Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts is my all-time favorite quest line in the game. Which I'll get into that later. Yeah. Oh well, let's do that now. I hate to be waiting for it. Okay.
Are you all right, Leliana?
Truth or Dare, a dangerous
not.
game. Nightingale.
Haven was
We underestimated the threat. Our friend, the Marquis, met with a dozen nobles in the past week. Bribes in the form of gifts changed hands, most of them busts of Justinia V. We appropriated one and discovered it hollow and stuffed with red lyrium, awaiting instructions. Fisher. And these are the two operations that we had put the thing to unlock it, so I might as well. Chief Engineer Bernardin's report to Commander Cullen.
Can you arrange
Initial
what we discussed
inspection.
earlier, Ambassador?
I found the
Elven
money.
ruins,
The
ancient,
Inquisition will
largely
compensate the families of those we
structurally
lost at Haven.
unsound.
Thank you.
Mortar damp and crumbling. Recent damage to load-bearing walls. Claw marks. Task: clear loose rubble and reinforce collapsed passageway for safety. Requirements: 10 strong workers, 2 junior engineers, 2 guards for security, 3 wagon loads of squared oak beam, 170 kegs of brown ale. Really? Is ale everything? I don't know. Gain access to Gillenon's Grove. The passageway is clear and safe. Access to the grove restored. 170 kegs of ale, not nearly enough for 15 hardworking Inquisition men and women. Chief Engineer Bernardin? No, not now. Open this up for later. A report from Commander Cullen. Citadel du Corvu, where Celine's forces are stationed, was cut off from the rest of the Dales when Pont Angur was destroyed in the Civil War. Owing to the rocky terrain around the Citadel, it has no other access points. Forces within could well have been stranded for weeks. I don't know how to read French either, so repair Pont Augur. Pont Augur has been repaired and the Citadel is once more accessible by road. Oddly enough, we have seen no sign of activity from the army. Something to investigate further, perhaps? Cullen. Okay, all the way towards here. To the Tevinter resistance. It seems Dorian was correct. Not only do Tevinter Templars not possess the ability to disrupt magic, Tevinter Magisters are flummoxed when they encounter such abilities. There was an attack on Magister Talani's estate, but our agent, Sir Belinda Darrow, reports that it was handily beaten back, and is unlikely to return anytime soon. Magister Talani sends her thanks, as well as some artifacts stripped from the attackers, and a scented handkerchief. Don't ask. Cullen. Alright. Oh yeah, rescue a spy. Nobility in the Valcheven have caught Miller, an Inquisition spy. She has tricked them into thinking she's a bard from the Orlesian court, but the deception will last only so long. extract her before her captors learn who she is and demand a ransom, an investigation, or an execution. So, I mean, you can ask either Josephine, Cullen, or Liliana. Though from Josephine and Cullen, at the end of it, they still find out that she is a spy for the Inquisition. So, I mean, if you wanted to do it secretly, go with Liliana, and she'll only send her tools to get out on her own. And the secret that she's with the Inquisition
Inquisitor.
Will stay a secret. Serpent of Navarra. This one you can send Cullen for the best results, I believe.
All
I
right.
mean, if you send Josephine, she only deals in like negotiations and stuff. If you send Josephine, the king won't really believe her that much. So I mean, sending Cullen does the best work. Find Crestwood's mare. Note to Skyhold's gate guards. I hear the mayor of Crestwood's been found. When he comes in, stick him in the holding cells. Let him stew there until the Inquisitor brings him out for judgment. Gowler Blythe. Which I won't... Improve stability. That could be left for Josephine.
Let us begin.
Which I won't be judging anybody anytime soon until later. So... Okay, later. Acquire the Arcanist. Which is, if you've played Dragon Age Origins, you will encounter a dwarf in Orzammar that wants to go to the surface and study magic. Well, that dwarf is the same Dagna. Oh my god. Oh my god, I felt that creeping up so bad. Oh. Anyways, it's the same dwarf, Dagna from Dragon Age Origins. Although, I don't know if... She probably goes up anyways. If you encounter her or not, or if you encounter her and deny her request to go to the Ferelden Circle, I think she still goes anyways, leaves her family, and like studies magic anyways. So I mean, I guess it's all in the way you encounter her. The decisions you make, actually. This is the Western Approach, which will be in Here Lies the Abyss questline. That's next. This is in the west. This is still like Western Plains, or maybe like Anderfels. But this is this particular place is like nothing but desert, like sand desert. It's a pretty big place too, which I'll open up later. Anyways. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and visit Liliana. What? Oh, well. No. What'd I do that for? Wait, I was trying to find hers. Solus. Okay, yeah. This is hers. I don't know why I did that for. I don't know what possessed me.
Our agents have encountered more followers of Corypheus, the so-called Venatori. Their leader, Calpurnia, has them searching elven ruins. For what, I do not know. I propose we stop the Venatori before they find what they seek.
Do you know anything about Calpurnia?
Only that Calpurnia is a name from ancient Tevinter legend. An unusual one. She was a priestess of Dumat, foster mother to the founder of the Imperium. A name like that is meant to assure the Venatori they follow in the footsteps of legends. We must prove them wrong.
Calpurnia must be up to something. Corypheus doesn't seem the type to suffer idleness.
I will not let her and Corypheus take us unawares again. These Venatori have been shadowing a merchant called Vicinius on Calpurnia's orders. They've investigated his finances, surveyed his warehouses. I propose that you meet with Vicinius. Flatter him. Find out what he knows of Calpurnia.
Vicinius sounds like a Tevinter name.
Born in Tallow. Although he claims to be from Virantium, he sells rare oils and amber, and prefers red wine to white.
What side of the bed does he sleep on?
He's unremarkable. I cannot think why Calpurnia would care.
What if Vicinius is as much in the dark as we are?
It never hurts to eliminate an avenue of inquiry. And we should tread lightly with the Venatori. They have contacts and spies, just as we do. The sooner you speak with Vicinius, the better.
We need him to open up about these bloodthirsty cultists. I'll bring wine.
Vicinius could be a useful ally. Merchants travel, and they love gossip as much as coin. I'll make arrangements for you to visit his summer home in Val Royeaux. Hopefully, your attention should be enough to pique his interest. We'll have Calpurnia's secrets yet.
Which will help if we have Arcanus Dagna. So I'll hold off on that until we get her. Oh. Yeah.
So I take it you're Dalish? Is that the correct word here?
Yes, that's right.
We don't have Dalish clans coming northward, for obvious reasons. So I've never met one of your people before, although I've heard about them. Little. I hope this won't be an issue between us. I am here to help you deal with the Venatori, after all.
And I appreciate your help, Dorian.
Excellent. Mutual appreciation is a grand way to begin.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
I hadn't noticed.
Some more than others.
Some people have superior taste. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
Why
I'm
would your
just gonna
family
let
be
him
upset
talk
with
here.
your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see?
What did you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
I'm getting the impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems so much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care. Deeply. About everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
I'm curious why you were at Redcliffe in the first place.
Looking up an old mentor of mine. A magister by the name of Alexius. Good fellow. Always thought highly of him. Then one day, he asks me to join the Venatori. I don't know what he was thinking. He knew I wanted to change Tevinter, not regress it into prehistoric madness. The Venatori killed Alexius once he stopped being useful.
Seems odd he would get involved with the Venatori at all.
That's what I thought. I'd hoped to persuade him to leave Redcliffe. I suppose he had his reasons. People will do odd things when they're strung over a barrel. Either that, or I didn't really know Alexius at all.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Ah, yes. Everyone outside the Imperium always seems quite fascinated by it. Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minrathous. That's madness. All right, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular you wanted to know?
Corypheus is a figure out of Tevinter history. He was a magister.
Yes, but that was a different time. The Imperium's power was at its peak then. The Civil War had ended, the Magisterium was united, its armies scooping up bits of Thedas like candy. The Magisters who entered the Black City, it was a demonstration of how exceptional Tevinter had become.
But who were they?
No one knows. There's no record of a Magister named Corypheus. All this happened 1400 years ago, before the Blight nearly wiped us out. There are no records. Today, people half believe it's all just a story. That's what I believe.
We have evidence the story is very much real.
But not who Corypheus is. If he even remembers. There used to be families who claimed some of those Magisters as their own. That stopped when the Chantry appeared. Then it was shameful, and the families distanced themselves from the tale. All we know is that some men and women entered the Black City looking for the old gods. What did they find? According to Corypheus, nothing. And only he could tell us more.
It seems strange that an entire empire would be ruled by mages.
I find it strange that your mages don't rule anything at all. Actually, the fiction in the Imperium is that mages don't rule. The Magisterium rules. That magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
What is the Magisterium, exactly?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part worth having a seat on. Those seats are split among the circles of Magi, the Chantry, and the major families. All mages now. It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
If you're not a Magister, then what are you called? No special title?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
I've never heard of an Altus.
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophets of the old gods. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're Laetan, lower class. If you're not a mage at all, you're Soparati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
I thought the Archon ruled over the Imperium.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium, but that never happens. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie madly for his favor. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do rule then.
Yes and no. Let me put it this way. Mages do rule, but not all mages are equal. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. Maybe you're even a slave. The idea that anyone could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically. The potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been known to happen. More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend is chock full of mage heroes from humble origins. So they hold out hope. Someday my son or my son's son will be a mage. Someday. Poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
Being a quaestor isn't a good thing?
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations after all. If you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
Let me ask you something else.
Of course.
There's an Imperial Chantry,
This is pretty
isn't there?
long, I'm sorry.
With its own divine.
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Is the Imperial Chantry so different from ours?
Not in theory. The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over him business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them, for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
There are circles of magi in the Imperium?
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce the Magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that, oh no. In the Imperium, he's the true Divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage. Down south, they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance, a blah blah blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
So, the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that other one, yes. Don't think there aren't a number of female magistres who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
Excellent reasoning. One more.
Do you consider yourself Andrastian?
The big question. It might surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry. It is a relic, whether back home or here in the south. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
I share your opinion, actually.
That's not surprising, considering what the Inquisition represents. I'll say this. I may not believe in the Chantry, but I believe in you.
In me?
That the Maker sent you, whether through Andraste or fate. Cassandra is not wrong. You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
I'm not sure about that myself.
Doubt is good. I like doubt. It will keep you sane. Me? I've seen too much to believe I know everything. The world is bigger than I. Even bigger than you. It laughs at all the things we think we know. The Maker doesn't need me to believe. But I do. The thought of no one at all watching out for us is too frightening.
Let me ask you something else.
So many questions.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
I should go.
Naturally.
Alright. Yeah, it's pretty long, so I'll cut it in half. I'll ask him the others later on. Really? Oh, I haven't spoken to him, huh? Don't worry, she won't die or
Send
harmed.
men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now! We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
Do you ever sleep?
Do you ever sleep?
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. I wouldn't want to. We must be ready. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything on course within the week. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. It could have been worse. Morale was low, but it's improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Inquisitor Llewellyn. Sounds odd, don't you think?
Not at all.
Is that the official response?
I suppose it is. But it's the truth. We needed a leader. You have proven yourself.
If we need to start over, Skyhold seems as good a place as any.
Once repairs are complete, it will be a strong base of operations. I will do everything I can to ensure the security of our people. You have my word.
So I did say I'm holding off on the, you know, romance. uh, really, I mean, it's not really necessary. I mean, it's optional.
Stefan finally died. It was a blessing, really. He's been in so much pain since Haven. He was out of his mind at the end. He smiled, said he smelled his mother's turnip stew, and slipped away.
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Keep banging your head against the problem. It'll go away eventually.
I'm predictable, I know. I suppose I'll never find them on my own. You recall the demon at Therenfall? The one impersonating Lord Seeker Lucius? We never found the real Lord Seeker, or his body. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. Yet a demon of envy does not kill whomever it replaces. It hides them away and learns about them. There must be a trail we can follow, yet so far I have only discovered hints.
Well, we know that they can't be infected with red lyrium or lyrium at all. Unless they have been forced to ingest it, is what she says. So, meh.
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, so we also get the mission to locate missing Seekers. Have anything here? On the other side, huh? Oh, over there. Yeah. Rescue the spy. Miller is free, and little worse for wear. Best of all, by escaping on her own, Miller preserved the secret of her connection to the Inquisition. Her adventure has given her quite the motivation to prove herself. If she learns from it, I feel her future work will be exceptional. Liliana. Let's require this really quick. Okay. Dorian's request. I could do that later. Locate missing Seekers. Yeah. The envy demon at Therenfall Redoubt was impersonating the Lord Seeker, but the man himself or his body was never found.
Cannot take the same route through the mountains.
Cassandra believes Corypheus did something with him and the other Seekers, and... Hold on. Sorry. Okay, Cassandra believes Corypheus did something with him and the other Seekers, as none of her order numbered among the corrupted Templars. Assuming they left a trail, it might be possible to discover what happened.
Inquisitor.
So let's do that. Yeah, okay. You know what? Let's go up to... Yeah, let's do that. So obviously you have your own quarters at the very top. And a nice room, by the way. Very big. And like what? 2 balconies? 3.
They've certainly spared no expense.
So this is from like the Kirkwall Free Marchers. The bed. You can also change your clothing. They have formal wear, casual. Outerwear. Which the Venture Capital is my favorite to wear. And then armor, which you only have 2 armor. But I like to wear this one. On this one, you have 3 upgrades for the garden, the tower, and for like the watchtower, or no, what is it? Watchtower, garden, and like the courtyard. So you can upgrade them and decide for yourself what you want, but you like need certain things for... Let's see, is it the tower? It's either the tower or the garden.
How do you know they went?
Let me see if it's the tower. For the tower, you can either make it for the mages or for the Templars. The garden, you can make it as like you can base it off as like, well, it has to be the garden. Chantry style, or like a healing type of thing. For the courtyard, you can have it for combat or for healing, which will open up like a medical place for the injured.
Fertile ground, even here. This hold has
Oh, well, duh. I'm over here trying to find that, and I'm like, no. Construction report, scaffolding. Third fall in as many days. We need more sandbags. It's almost impossible to drive an anchor between these blocks. The place was built to last, but that makes it a fight to build it up. Burial roofer. Approved. The Inquisition needs its people on good legs. Sir Morris, quartermaster. I'm over here trying to look for the plans, and you need to go to the quartermaster for those. Okay, so depending on, for this garden, depending on what you choose, will give you certain plant, like pots to plant your seeds of different. Oh, where am I going? Of different
Where does it come from? What was the archdemon?
herbs you find out throughout Thedas. And then you can plant those seeds and grow your own herbs and collect them and then do it all over again. Which is kind of cool.
Sliced plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies. There are spiders everywhere. The plums were right in front of me, but can't quite recall who took them.
Here is the requisitions thing. Let's see. Skyhold. How about the courtyard first?
Consider it done.
So I need 3 more quarries and 1 more elf fruit for that advanced treatment. Okay, yeah. And 25 more elf fruit for that. Which I've always done this as a sparring ring. Whoops. And that will help you train your troops. For the courtyard, I mean for the watchtower, depending on who I choose, I go from there. So if I choose mage, then I'll make it like for the mages to study magic and all that. If I choose Templar, it'll be for the Templars. Let me get Josephine. And I want to unlock the specialization for Inquisitors. So I'm hoping it's this one. Improve stability. I have secured promises from several noble families. They have agreed to provide personal guards and other resources to the cause. We have played our part in closing the rifts. The nobles will now see the safety of those living on their lands. No? Well, that sucks. Well, gain Orzamar's friendship is usually a Josephine that does that. We have received a message from Orzammar. Knowing an ancient darkspawn threatens Thedas, King Balin officially declared his support for the Inquisition.
At your service.
So, depending on your choices in Dragon Age Origins, it could either be Balin or Haramont as King of Orzammar, which it all drums down to whatever choices you put in your Dragon Age keep. So, I mean, seeing as that I don't have any for like the PlayStation, it'll just be default story and
You
decisions.
read the report?
It was unusual. Is he always so blunt?
Yes.
Let's fast travel to Western Approach. Yeah. Or we could do that too. I had already clicked on it and then I decided on another thing, so yeah. Let me do this, and then I wanted to go to Valrayo and begin on the Under Her Skin quest line.
Visitor, welcome to the Western Approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Well, it's good to know what I'm in for.
Sorry I don't have more for you. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
Intercepted Venatori message. Octavian. With our allies the Templars redeploying and abandoning their mine in the canyons, we will now focus our efforts on the excavations and the summoning attempts. Go have a word with our White Claw associates. I'll be sending further resources your way. Service. If you go up this way, there's like a logging stand. Yeah. Alright. Then I won't go any farther than that because there are, like, enemies out there, and I'm by myself. So, I'll save that. It didn't? I was expecting. Well. Okay. Oh, I should have, huh? When you automatically go to the Black Emporium and then get out, they'll always pull up the character reel to select from. I need my people. Okay, then go out. Go to Valrayo. Thank you. I'll take Vivian, Sandra, and Barrett. After this one, I need to cut it off. The Daughters of Song. I don't think I've read that codex entry. I don't remember, at least. So after this one, I gotta cut it off for tonight and then start up tomorrow.
How odd that more men show up at the manor to speak.
finish on them now?
Make it. Get the Caden to scrap the thing. Wait. No, that won't work. Maybe.
Game on.
Oh, wrong place. Darn. I was thinking about something else and got distracted. The place you're supposed to be at. Snap. Wait. Yeah, it should still be good. Well, not tonight, no. But I mean, it should still be good. It should. Love you too. Oh, to take him to work? Or he... Ooh. So let's do this really quick and then go.
What happened here?
And where is the merchant we intended to meet?
Letter to a slaver. Zager. Cancel that order for more field workers. Get more scribes. Library slaves. The smartest you can find. They have to be able to read and write. Former runaways are fine, so long as they were clever about it. This Venatori leader, Calpurnia, is paying a fortune for our best and brightest stock, delivered to her personally. Don't ask me why. One thing. Don't send any with brands or whip marks. We had a couple branded slaves in the last shipment. Her people sent the couriers back with burns on their faces. They said Calpurnia doesn't take kindly to damaged stock. Strange tick for a magistrate, but her goal's good enough. Vicinius.
Seems Vicinius angered Calpurnia by sending her mistreated slaves.
Was that mercy or anger at damaged stock?
She was paying a fortune for literate slaves.
A horde of these Venatories? Not enough. Something's up. That sounds
Invoice for slaves. Shipment. 14 healthy males. Elf. 3 literate former scribes and bookkeepers. Set aside for C. 5 healthy males. Human. Deduct 20 from 1 for missing hand. 10 healthy females. Elf. 7 healthy females. Human. 2 literate. Set aside for C. Payment 350 sovereigns. Paid in full. Plus 150 sovereigns. Down payment for next month's shipment. A note is scribbled below. Reserved for more for next time. Lots of demand. Yeah. What, the blinds? Well, and then I had the light on, so, I mean, you could... On.
That must have been Vicinius.
I see Calpurnia sent Venatori to deal with him.
Let's look around. A shattered crystal. Let's find the pieces. Here's another one.
All the Fridays were on yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The crystal's whole again, but... Hold on.
Calpurnia, I had no intention. I warned you of consequences should the slaves you bring me suffer in your care. Venatori, show him.
No! Wait! Wait! That's a dwarven memory crystal.
It's a
The
form of
Shapers use
saying
them to
hello.
store memories. Don't ask me how.
Dagna might know what to make of it.
What do you mean?
It looks like he doesn't miss it when he thinks he has to come over here
No.
and do that, out of fear or something.
No. No. It's a way of telling us hello. Alright, I have to cut it out. I'll see you. I'll be back tomorrow.